Hello and welcome to Tax Matters. I'm Chamaka Ohawuchi. It was celebration time this last week in Abuja. WATAF, the West African Tax Administration Forum, was celebrating. WATAF was born in September 2011, the maternity being the city of Abuja in Nigeria. After learning to sit, crawl and walk, WATAF is now running. After a decade, going round member countries for seminars, workshops, trainings, meetings, conferences, and policy dialogues, WATAF traced its steps back to her birthplace, Abuja, to celebrate her 10th birthday. It was indeed a celebration. Intellectual feast, a gala and award evening, and many more. From Tuesday the 21st to Thursday the 23rd of September 2021, WATAF marked its 10 years anniversary together with its 17th WATAF General Assembly and high-level policy dialogue in Abuja with the theme, The Taxation of the Digital Economy, Exploring Untapped Revenue Sources in Africa. To underscore the importance of the event, it was graced with the presence of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, the Honorable Federal Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Mrs. Zainab Ahmed, the Executive Chairman FRS, Mr. Muhammad Nami, WATAF Chairman, Mr. Yankuba Dabur, and the Executive Secretary, Mr. Babatunde Oladapo, as well as representatives of professional bodies and development partners. Also in attendance were the Director, Customs and Domestic Taxes Department of ECOWAS, Salifo Temtori, who stood in for the ECOWAS President, as well as the ETAF President, Philippe Chode. How did it all begin?
On September 12, 2011, history was made. 5 countries gathered at the Rockville Hotel. And that was a little beginning. Ghana was there, Nigeria was there, Benin Republic was there, and the Gambia and Liberia. It was an historic occasion, and from there we have moved from a 5-member organization to cover the 15-member countries of the ECOWAS. At that point in time, the world was at the epicenter of a major shift in the discourse of international taxation. The issue of the base erosion and profit shifting was gathering momentum. The African Tax Administration Forum, which is an answer to the call for Africans to determine their destiny, was just 2 years old when WATAF was given back to. Now, in 2021, the narrative has changed. Then we were seeking a voice, but now we have WATAF as the voice of tax administrations in West Africa.
10 years after, the narrative has changed. Mr. Oladapo proceeded to give a scorecard.
We have succeeded in adding value to tax administrations and also closing the gap between tax administrations and other agencies of government that we need as the source of our support as tax administration to fully discharge our responsibilities. Further to that quest, WATAF's high-level policy dialogue series was inaugurated in 2019. It was hosted by the Gambia Revenue Authority, and the focus was on domestic revenue mobilization. At that point in time, the consensus was for African countries to move away from dependence on overseas direct assistance in form of loans. The narrative was to move us away from being seen as beggar nations to nations that can fund their development. Today, we are having the 3rd edition of the high-level policy dialogue, which is a mark that we are making progress, which is a mark that we have the end goals in sight.
And what does the future portend?
WATAF will be focusing on transforming our operations in tax administration to fit into the mode of technologically driven tax administrations globally. We will aspire to make our members to be able to catch up, not playing catch up now, but catch up or even making taxpayers to catch up in terms of the innovations we'll be putting on board to make the payment of taxes convenient, comfortable, and equitable. We will also focus on making sure that service delivery becomes a norm and practice among our member countries.
Chief Host, the Executive Chairman FRS, Chairman Joint Tax Board of Nigeria, Muhammad Nami, centered his speech around the theme of the policy dialogue.
When you speak of taxing the digital economy, you are talking about an economy without physical borders, trade and commerce that transcends our natural geographical delineations. In terms of tax administration, the only way that this can be possibly done with any accuracy and effectiveness is if it is done digitally, since the commercial activity itself is also done digitally. Tax regulators and other industry stakeholders must therefore rise up to the challenge of being in a position to tap into the stream of opportunity that advancement in science and technology afford us.
With regard to what Nigeria's FRS is doing in the area of taxing the digital economy and revenue generation in general.
We have recently deployed our integrated tax administration system known as the Tax Promax. This cost-saving, effective solution that was developed in-house by our staff is a user-friendly technology which is accessible by tax officers and taxpayers alike.
I'm a very busy man. My business involves a lot of traveling and I interface with lots and lots of people and organizations. Tax compliance used to be a big drag on my business. It was time-consuming and very costly. But now, no more. Introducing the FIRS Tax Promax, the truly fully end-to-end tax administration solution for companies' income tax, value-added tax, petroleum profits tax, and all other tax types. For fast, efficient, and convenient end-to-end tax experience, log on to www.taxpromax.firs.gov.ng. Tax Promax has turned things around for me. It is fast, user-friendly, and cost-effective. FIRS, making tax administration as easy as ABC.
Thank you for staying with us. On this episode, we are telling you the story of the 10th year anniversary celebration and the high-level policy dialogue organized by the West African Tax Administration Forum in Abuja from Tuesday the 21st to Thursday the 23rd of September 2021. It was an activity-packed 3-day event, an intellectual feast, an agenda-setting meeting, an awards ceremony to reward men and women who birthed WATAF, as well as those who have contributed to its growth to date. Using the theme of the tax dialogue as the basis, Nigeria's Honorable Federal Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning interrogated efforts being made to tax the digital economy.
We have actively participated in the global discourse around the issues of taxation of the digital economy, particularly as it affects the allocation of taxing rights. In this regard, we have continued to contribute our quota in different fora, most importantly in the OECD G20 Inclusive Framework on Base Erosion and Profit Shifting, otherwise known as the Inclusive Framework. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me highlight that the basis of our involvement in that process was the understanding that a coordinated universal solution to tax challenges of the digital economy was necessary, and that the solution would be fair and acceptable for all members. We had hoped that all jurisdictions will be participating in the project on equal footing, and that the agreed solution will benefit all while preserving jurisdictions' existing taxing rights, which are not aimed at the digital business, and that the project would provide universal acceptable rules by consensus. The question therefore arises, why has Nigeria not endorsed the OECD proposed solution to the issues affecting the digital economy? Simply put, Nigeria seeks to prioritize the importance of securing a fair deal that provides for equitable global reallocation of profits from all markets and from all jurisdictions, and it is our view that the agreement has not met this objective. I crave your indulgence to highlight one or two implications of the proposed solution for us. First of all, the scope of the Pillar 1 covers only multinational enterprises, M&As, with 20 billion euros global revenue and above 10% profitability, which means just about 100 companies across the world are within the scope of these rules. This threshold has left many of the well-known M&As exploiting the digital space out of the scope of Pillar 1, and significantly reduce any benefit that may accrue to market jurisdictions from Amount A taxing rights. Even where the non-resident companies meet the revenue and profitability threshold, there is still the requirement of operating in and meeting local sales threshold of 1 million euros in the market jurisdiction, except for jurisdictions that have a GDP of $40 million and below, that have the in-scope revenue threshold fixed at 250,000 euros. Furthermore, the proposed scope reduction after 7 years of implementation provides for some conditions which include effective implementation of mandatory binding dispute resolution mechanism. Thus, there is no certainty of the reduction in the scope threshold, and the rule may continue to apply to only the few countries that fall under the scope revenue and profitability thresholds. One other critical issue is that the project introduces a mandatory binding dispute resolution mechanism for Amounts A and issues connecting to it, including all transfer pricing and business profit disputes, which implies that most tax disputes involving multinational enterprises cannot be determined under domestic legal framework, but under international arbitration. This will most likely lead to conflict with the requirements of domestic laws for many jurisdictions.
Issues raised by the Honorable Minister in her address came up during the policy dialogue.
We have issues around fairness and equity in the proposal, which we believe that is skewed against developing countries. Two is the potential for it to generate negative tax returns to countries that would sign up, particularly from developing countries. You may find out that you will lose more than what you stand to gain from Amount A. Another reason is that, for example, in Nigeria, we have constitutional reasons. Our law specifically states that government revenue can only be determined by the Federal High Court in Nigeria, not in any other arbitral process. And of course, we have issues around the definition of unilateral measures, which we believe is encroaching into the traditional taxing rights of Nigeria.
Special guest of honor, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustapha, told the same trajectory as the Honorable Minister, emphasizing the need for revenue authorities to generate adequate taxes from the emerging digital economy. Mr. Boss Mustapha also spoke about efforts being made by Nigeria to tax the digital economy.
Nigeria is constantly reviewing its domestic laws to identify changes required to bring the digital economy to taxation in country. Digital transactions must be taxed digitally, and the goal of our efforts must be to achieve seamless digital collection and remittance of tax revenue that accrues from the digital economy. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, has given impetus to this drive by directing the deployment of technology to good effect in revenue collection and remittance as a matter of government policy.
I'm a very busy man. My business involves a lot of traveling and I interface with lots and lots of people and organizations. Tax compliance used to be a big drag on my business. It was time-consuming and very costly. But now, no more. Introducing the FIRS Tax Promax, the truly fully end-to-end tax administration solution for companies' income tax, value-added tax, petroleum profits tax, and all other tax types. For fast, efficient, and convenient end-to-end tax experience, log on to www.taxpromax.firs.gov.ng. Tax Promax has turned things around for me. It is fast, user-friendly, and cost-effective. FIRS, making tax administration as easy as ABC.
Opening formalities over. The intellectual feast began with the first panel discussion on the digitalization of the African economy, the growth of e-commerce. Paper presenter was Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, Fiscal Policy Partner and Africa Tax Leader at PwC. Moderator of the session was the Chairman of WATAF himself, Mr. Yankuba Dabro, who is the Commissioner General of the Gambia Revenue Authority.
Now, I think a good starting point is to remind us that technology is as old as man, without being gender biased, man and woman. And we've always had innovation, even in the Stone Age. And you see the images on the screen from being able to hunt using tools, farming, money, knitting of cloths. And we have the first electromechanical binary programmable computer in 1936. Motorola invented the first mobile phone in 1973. Look at it there, it's almost the size of a computer today, desktop. And the internet, the World Wide Web, was invented in 1989, just about 32 years ago. And that's what transformed e-commerce as we know it today. So e-commerce is just 32 years old. And it's amazing the kind of transformation that we have seen in that period of time. Now, the mobile phone started becoming smart because when mobile phones were not smart, they were not useful for e-commerce. As soon as they became smart, they became very important tools for e-commerce. And then the emergence on the next slide shows that technology has altered everything, the way we work, live, play, and the way we do business. And also to a large extent, the way we do governance and tax administration. The term digital economy was actually coined in 1995 by Don Tapscott in the book titled The Digital Economy, Promise and Peril, in the age of networked intelligence. So even this digital we're talking about, it's pretty young. This digitalization, what impact does it have on doing business? And more importantly, on the African economy?
More excerpts from the panel sessions held over the course of the 3 days will come to you in subsequent episodes of Tax Matters. To round off activities on day 1, a 10th year anniversary gala and award night was held, at which founding fathers and mothers of WATAF were recognized.
Outstanding Service Award. And the first person to receive this award is Mr. MAC DK from Nigeria, Balde Kueta from Guinea-Bissau, Essa Jallo from the Gambia, Pierre Beta Dafo from Côte d'Ivoire, Rabiu Awa Ambali from Niger. The second category is the Pioneer Leadership Award. The awardees are Mrs. Ifoko Omogi Okaoro, former ECFIRS. The second awardee in this category is no other person than Mrs. Ilfreda Tamma from Liberia, Bakare Sanyang from the Gambia, George Blankson from Ghana, Mariama Sumano Baba Musa from Benin. The Meritorious Service Award, I am glad and privileged to call on Mr. Femi Edgar to come and receive his Meritorious Service Award. Femi Edgar. And of course, we have Monsieur Tentore Salifu from ECOWAS. Our next award category is called the Pioneer Staff Award. To receive the award, first on the list is Babatunde Oladapo, Executive Secretary, WATAF. Please, let's welcome Tochukwu Sandra Onyemata from Nigeria. Is Madam Ebeta Bodi Lawson from Nigeria. Yet another award. This is called Host Country Award. Award will be given to the Federal Inland Revenue Service of Nigeria. It's my honor to welcome Mr. Nami to receive the award on behalf of the service. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes.
Prizes were also awarded to winners of the tax essay competition.
Prize, the first category, the topic for it was West African Perspectives to Solutions Addressing the Tax Challenges of the Digital Economy. And the awardee is Dochevi Nyatefe Olali from Togo. Second category is on digital economy, an emerging economy in Africa. This award will be given to Nater Paul Akpen from Nigeria.
We join others in congratulating WATAF on her 10th year anniversary and in wishing her more fruitful years ahead. We promise that more on the 3-day action-packed event will come your way very soon. There are interviews with founding fathers and mothers. There is the Chief Rapporteur's report and the presentation of what was tagged outcome statements. And talking about congratulations are in order for Mrs. Cecilia Odibo, one of the Amazons at the FRS and a member of the Council of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. Mrs. Odibo, a barrister at law, chartered accountant, chartered tax practitioner, was on Saturday, 25th of September 2021, installed as the 4th State Coordinator of the Society of Women in Taxation, Lagos State Chapter. It was a grand event at which a panel of discussants discussed pro bono services, a new frontier for women in taxation. More on that highly stimulating discussion will come to you very soon on Tax Matters. Make it a point to meet us on this same station, Same day of the week and same time of the day next week. Remember, ain't nothing wrong with ember months. All you need to do is put your vehicle in order. Don't drink when you drive. Don't overspeed. Stay alive. See you next week.